Shalom, family. Shalom. Welcome to another live stream by Ahk Ben. Moshe Ben Yahuda Israel. Simply Ahk Ben. What's good with y'all, family? Decided to do a live stream. I know it's still early in some of y'all areas where y'all may be posted up at, but it's about 40 minutes after 10 o'clock in my area in the Bayou State of Louisiana. Just gonna wait around for a few minutes, see who's gonna show up. Pray all is well with y'all. But yeah, we've been getting rain for the last couple of days. That's coming from the tropical storm Beta. That's what's out there in the Gulf. So if you're in the Texas area, in the Louisiana area, you've been getting rain. We've been getting rain from that. But I went outside, walked outside. I took me a stroll outside. No night stroll video. I did my night stroll the other night, but I went outside and took me a few rounds out there just to enjoy the night air. Sometimes I like going take a nightly walk, all daytime walk, but I've been enjoying the fall weather so far. It beats that summer hot weather because you got that humidity down here in Louisiana, but so far the weather been good lately. The weather been good, thanks to that rain. But like I said, I pray all is well with y'all. I pray that y'all staying safe, in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic. All praises to the Most High, that we all been protected from it, and we thank the Most High for his holy protection and his divine protection in Yahshua's name. Hallelujah, because a lot of our, this pandemic, 2020 just been a hell of a year, but we still here by the grace of God. Oh yeah, hallelujah. But yeah, fam, I'm just sticking around, just hanging out around to see who's gonna show up. See who's gonna show up to the live stream. I know it's still early, the night's still young. Like they like to say, the popular saying, the night is still young. But I ain't been doing nothing today. I just been chilling and resting. That's all you could do when it's raining like that. When you hear that rain, stay in the house, rest and eat and chill. That's all I've been doing, resting and eating and chilling. It's all good though. And here I am doing a live stream. I thought about going live early, but I was too tired. I was too tired. I was resting. But I figure I'll probably wait later on tonight, which is why I've decided to go live right now. Because I figure a lot of people will come to the live streams late at night, if they're not sleeping. Yeah, it's still early, still about 4 minutes into the live. I enjoyed the last few live streams I did. I enjoyed the live stream I did with my brother K. Judah when we swung a sword on the Feast of the Trumpets. And I enjoyed the live when I went on live blowing the shofar. I stood in the gap for y'all. If you didn't have the shofar and you was on my live stream listening to the shofar blowing, I stood in the gap for y'all. All praises. But the next feast day coming up is the Day of Atonement. That's coming up this weekend, Sunday to sundown to Monday to sundown. And the Day of Atonement, that's when you're going to have to inflict yourself. 24-hour fast, family. Dry fast. No food, no water. So I advise you, eat you a good meal before the sunset on Sunday evening. Before the sunset on Sunday evening, eat you a good meal. Drink you a good drink of water. And let it rip, Stay in prayer during the atonement. Nah, you got to be a realist in this walk. Like if any Israelite got to take medication, like if you're on diabetic medication or sugar, high blood sugar, if you got to take medication, take your medication, Those who could fast, fast. Those who can't, don't worry. Your brothers and sisters going to stand in the gap for you. And those who can't fast, stay in prayer. Still pray and seek atonement from the Most High. But those who can fast, 24-hour fast, just look at it like this. Take the days off. Take the days off. Get yourself a lot of rest, pray, read scriptures. If you feel like you're getting hungry, feed your spirit by reading the word, prayer. Before you know it, it's going to go by. But those who are newly, if you don't make it during the whole stretch, don't feel bad. You get stronger next year. Hallelujah. Because we ain't no Israelites around here that's going to crack a whip on our brothers and sisters. Be like, oh, you didn't did the whole thing. You just went 2 hours. You just went 5 hours. Some Israelites, they want to be, too hard on their brothers and sisters that's newly in this walk. You can't do that. Because we all had moments we slipped, when we kept a feast day. It's a rehearsal. You got to look at it like it's a rehearsal. Because we only try, no Israelite going to have it down to 100%. How I'm trying to see this, That's why it's a rehearsal. We rehearsing the feast days, because y'all willing when we make it to the kingdom, everything going to be top notch and everything going to be in order and decency in order. But you get an A for effort for trying, because you got some Israelites trying to get around and say, oh, we don't have to keep the feast days. They look for any excuse. Oh, we in captivity. We don't have to keep the feast days. Just to don't want to keep them, because some of them, they just don't want to keep them. Some of them just rather say, oh, they just glad they know they Israelites and they don't want to do nothing that the book says. And it's wrong. You can't do that. You gotta, it's more than knowing that you're an Israelite. You gotta do what the book says and learn and seek what the book tell you to do. Straight up. But yeah, the Day of Atonement coming up, family. Just putting that out there. I made sure I took them days off. Now, for those who got to work on them days, it's good if you don't have a job that's require hard labor, or physical labor. But, because if you work in a job that require physical labor, especially if you work outside, or if you, like, for example, if you construction worker, you're going to have to drink water. You're going to have to eat something because you're physical labor, but yeah, if you could take off, man, take off, all praises. You could take off them days. That way you can observe the Feast of Atonement, the Day of Atonement, the Day of Atonement, not no feast, because you're afflicting yourself for 24 hours. Yep, so that's coming. I just wanted to put that out there. Mm-hmm. Yep, see, I got 3 people watching. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see who's gonna show up in the chat box. I'm still looking around. 10 minutes in the live stream. But yep, the Day of Atonement coming up, family. What it do, Ariel? Salute, brother. Shalom, Ariel. Shalom, brother. Salute. Yeah, I was just letting the family know that the Day of Atonement coming up this weekend. Prepare yourselves, to inflict yourself the dry fast, no food, no water. Those who can fast, fast. And those who can't, we're going to stand in the gap for you. But those who can't fast, due to medical conditions, pray. Continue to pray and seek atonement. Pray. Mm-hmm. I made sure I took them days off. And then after that, we got the Feast of Tabernacles coming up. Got the Tabernacles coming up after that. Yah's appointed times, Yah's feast days, not Israel feast days, but the feast days of Yah. It belongs to the Lord. Because you got some of these ignorant people in the world like, oh, that's for the Jews. No, that's the Most High's feast days. That's the Lord's feast days. Man created the holidays like Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Easter, and all that. That's man-made. I find it funny that when you tell people about the feast days of the Bible, they don't want to hear it. They want to, these same Israelites, they want to make excuse not to keep the feast days. Used to be before they came into the truth, they had no problems keeping Christmas. They made sure they kept Christmas, Easter, and Thanksgiving, and all the other pagan days. But when it comes to this walk, they want to look for any excuse and trying to use scripts to justify they don't have to keep the feast days. When the word says that the feast days are a covenant and sign between the Most High and Israel forever. But I tell you, man, our people gone. They don't want to do what the book says. A lot of our people don't want to do what the book says and tell them to do. They just want to know that they're Israelites. But it's more than that. But yeah, I pray all is well with your brother Ariel. Like I said, I just been chilling and eating and resting all day on this rainy day. It kind of rained today. Just been resting. That's all you could do in the weather like that. It's kind of dreary outside, man. Just make you want to go to sleep. Day of Atonement, Yah's Day on, new spirits full of light involved. Yeah. It's coming up, got the Day of Atonement coming up. Feast of Tabernacles after that. Oh, there go the night train passing. I hear the train passing there. Yeah, but I went for a stroll outside though, area. I just took me a nice stroll outside. I didn't do a video. I just went outside, enjoy the night air. Sometimes I like to go outside. I said, let me go catch some air because, I was in the house all day today. I said, let me go catch some air. See something. Night scroll, that's right, to check out Earth's heaven, Earth, air, and Yah's heavens. That's right. Yep. Yeah, it was cloudy tonight. I couldn't see the stars tonight. It was cloudy due to the weather, you know. It's been cloudy all day due to the rain we've been getting, but that's been coming from that tropical storm out there, Tropical Storm Beta. Talking about they ran out of names. Now they got to use the Greek alphabet. Naming them storms like that. Heathens. They ain't going to use the Hebrew alphabet because they be scared to use the Hebrew alphabet. Shucks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I stood out there. I want to say I went out there for a good while, about at least 30 minutes to an hour. Probably I've been outside. You know, that's how good it felt out there. That good fall night air. You know, and I think we had a little cool front yesterday too, probably because I had to put on my cap and jacket when I was at work the other day, yesterday. You know, I had to put on my jacket and cap, and a little cool front came through. But it's time for that weather to change, though, that fall weather. You know, it's time to get that good old fall weather. We had a good summer. We had a hot summer. Mm-hmm. Man, don't tell me everybody's sleeping early tonight. Shit, everybody might be the babe. Yeah, exactly. They should focus on how everything hurricane the 1800s formed from the how hurricanes formed from under the west coast of yep. That's the routes they usually take them storms. The same routes the slave ships took from West Africa. That's where them storms be forming from. Yep. Mm-hmm. Send another notification right quick, my yeah, YouTube be messing with the notifications probably. That's what it is. Yep. Yeah, they stay messing with the notifications because they shadow banning our channels. That's why they be shadow banning our channels. Yeah, hurricane. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, when them storms be coming through, they ain't joking about us. When they see them tornadoes forming in their areas, ain't no Negro jokes being spread, and ain't no racist jokes. Ain't no racist jokes being told when they see them storms. Send another notification out so we could wake up the crew. Y'all's willing. That's why I wish they didn't get rid of YouTube Messenger. YouTube Messenger. Yeah, if they had YouTube Messenger, I would. It don't pay for me to share my video to Facebook because nobody gonna come from Facebook. Bunch of fake people on Facebook, so I ain't gonna even waste that energy. I'm gonna waste energy sending my share a link to Facebook. Bunch of fake brews on now, like fake brews everywhere. Yeah, and it's still early too, because I usually do my live streams about around midnight or late hours, so it's still early.
Whole inappropriate question that he asked, and I will be getting into that later on. I am more disgusted about the so-called counseling session he gave this young man, because as that call went on, I watched as this older man went out of his way to verbally abuse this young man over the course of 33 minutes, and all of the ways he was treating this man is not the way a licensed counselor or licensed psychotherapist would engage an individual. Because I have a family member who has a degree in counseling, and I myself have worked with the worst individuals, such as ex-offenders, drug addicts, single mothers, and many other types of people who were considered unemployable during my year at AmeriCorps Vista when I was working at the Strive.
Yeah, that was Sean James live. I already know who he talking about in that video. Talking about the image guy in the Black Wacko Spirit when he asked that dude a suspect question. Asked him a damn suspect. That's why I say, man, these buffoons in the Black Wacko Spirit ain't no good. Ain't no good. Ain't nothing but a bunch of blind leading the blind on them social sites. Exactly.
was watching Kevin Samuels verbally abuse this young man for 33 minutes and just go
man,
out of his way.
I don't want to pay Kevin Samuels for no damn consolation.
This young man and just attack this young man. And all this young man was looking for was advice on how to get the attention of women. And your Kevin Samuels, instead of giving him that advice, what he did was go out of his way to attack this young man, try to break him down. And that is a tactic that unethical salespeople do when they're trying to sell you a product or a service. Because I remember a couple of years ago, I saw this ad online talking about this job was available, and I submitted my resume to this job. And what happened was I got an email back, and instead of telling me about when I should interview or where I could go to get this interview, what this person did was talk about there were problems with my resume, and they tried to verbally abuse me in the email, telling me that I was writing things wrong and that things were wrong with this resume. And then they tried to sell me a resume service for a certain price. Now, almost immediately, I caught on to the scam, and I could easily catch on to the scam that Kevin Samuels was trying to run on this young brother, because he knew that this boy was only 20 years old. He didn't know much about life. So what he wanted to do was use this unethical high-pressure sales tactic of breaking someone down in order to persuade them into buying his so-called services, and then use that as a gateway into getting money for himself. It is something that is extremely unethical and extremely egregious for an older man to do to a younger man. And it's something that just shows me how just completely greasy your Kevin Samuels is. So this snake oil salesman in a suit, when he sees one of our young brothers out here, one of our best and brightest brothers out here, instead of helping him deal with the problem he says he has, he goes out here and attacks our best and brightest brothers. So that shows me in that one interview that your Kevin Samuels is somebody who is an enemy to black men. Yep. Because a black man, when he sees another brother out here, he's supposed to do what I do and try to help that brother out. Now, I'm not one of these so-called high-value men. I'm a guy who hasn't worked at a full-time job for some time, but I try to take what little knowledge that I have, and I try to share it with these young brothers out here so that they can not only get that job and keep that job, I try to also give them advice so that they can look out for the pitfalls and enemies that they could find on a job, like in my blogs and in books like I do Stop Simping in the Workplace. And oftentimes when I have brothers coming to me on Facebook and they want to chat and messaging, I go out here and I would give these brothers advice for free. And I would also give brothers advice when they would send me an email. And I didn't even charge for that type of advice. And I do that because I want to see these young brothers out here get the success I wanted to have in my career. And I do that because I want to see them grow and thrive. But your Kevin Samuels, he does not want to see young brothers go out here growing and thriving. No, this guy, he's got this whole I got mine, F you mentality.
Yeah, a lot of them do. Yep.
Over all of these other young brothers.
Let's see. Kevin Samuel made good points sometimes, but he lost me when he said you need to spend tens of thousands on a life coach, which seems unreasonable and unaffordable. Man, you don't need no life coach. All you need is to read the Bible, man. If you want to learn about life lessons, read the book of Proverbs for free. You don't need to go to no damn life coach. It's all about the damn money in these damn black sector of YouTube and the black wacko spirit. It's all got a lot of snake oil salesmen in that sector. You know, bunch of snake oil salesmen, straight up.
Me the wrong way, because again, as a writer of men's issues, I want to see men be their. That's why I make the videos. That's why I write the books like The Man Crisis. That's why I write the books like Stop Simping. I do that because I want to see these young brothers out here get that success and achieve that success. And I know that what he did in that so-called counseling session, that was some of the sickest stuff I have ever seen in my life, just to see a black man tear down another black man. I mean, I thought a white supremacist was standing right there as this was going on, because that's what a white supremacist would do to a black man. And it's also what one of these ratchet black females in HR would do to a black man, is tear that man down instead of going out of their way to give him proper guidance. Now, if I were sitting there with this young brother and I had him on a call, I would give him completely different advice. And as a guy who was 20 years old and went to college and was making those good grades like this young brother was, my advice to him would have been to focus on his education, because at 20 years old, yeah, you don't have anything right now. And I remember not having anything when I was 20 years old. And the way to move yourself ahead is to focus on your education.
Shalom, K. Judah. Shalom. Welcome to the live stream. Shit, I'm just listening to Sean James talking about that buffoon Kevin Samuels, the snake oil salesman, the image guy, selling people that high value man hustle, that high value illusion. It's all but a damn illusion. None but a damn bullshit label.
That's what I was focused on. And as for the women, yeah, what's going to happen is you don't have a woman right now, and you may not get the attention of women right now, but it's all about you going out here and putting that work in yourself. Because when you're in your 20s, you're not going to be this big time success. You're going to be a guy working a low wage job. You're going to be in school. And yeah, the girls aren't really going to pay that much attention to you. But there are girls out there who will pay attention to you. And I remember when I was working at Food Emporium in about 96, 97, there was a girl looking at me, and she was a dark-skinned sister, and she was looking at me. And there are women looking at you, but you just have to know what signs to look for. And there are women all around you looking at you. I mean, there may be women on the college campus. There may be women around the school. And there are women all around you. And that's the way you have to change your perspective to understand this, that women are always looking at you. And all you have to do is know what nonverbal cues to look for, because women will let you know that they're interested with their body language, with their facial expression. And those things may be her giving you a smile, her giving you a look. And from there, you just introduce yourself, and you'll see where things go. I mean, there's no lines and games. It's just straightforward. If a woman is interested, she will let you know with nonverbal cues. She will sometimes even let you know by coming up to you, but you just have to lay back and relax and let yourself be open. But as I see it, for this young brother at 20 years old, he shouldn't be too worried about getting a girl. He should be focused on his education, because once you get your education straight, then you can start focusing on building. And once you start focusing on building, then you can look for a quality woman and who will want to be your wife. So that this guy is in a very good place, but your Kevin Samuels wanted to cut this young man down and tell him he was worthless. But I could clearly see the value in this young.
Shit, I wish Kevin Samuel tell me a worthless. I'll knock his old ass out. I'll beat his brains out. Real shit. I don't give a damn if he hear me. Yeah, because you see, that's what he do. He tell when he consult people or consult these buffoons that pay for his consolation, have you said a damn word? He will tear you down. He'll try to assassinate your character. Trying to, I guess it's on, but yeah, he tell me I'm worthless, man. Shit. Knock his old senior citizen ass out. He in his 50s. I don't give a damn. Shit. Real talk, a lot of these buffoons, man, in the manosphere ain't no good. Let's see, a lot of these dudes in the black manosphere are clowns and just prey on folks who are lost in at their worst. It's unfortunate a man or woman with self-esteem will not listen to their BS. Exactly.
Track this degree in finance will be able to help him, because this is not just about him getting a job. This is about him using the tools that he has to go out here and build a business. Because when you learn the basics of finance, you don't need to just work somewhere. You can go out here and start learning how to do your own investments with stocks. You can start learning how to do investment with bonds, and you can start learning how to build your own financial nest egg. And you can also start learning about how to take exams like the Series 7 and learn how to become a licensed stockbroker. You can start learning about tools and things to go out here and build your own business and become a higher value man than this high value fraud, Kevin Samuels. And when I look at this young brother and I looked at the advice this guy was giving him, that's the thing that really just made me so angry, was seeing him get this bad advice, being told that he was worthless, being told that he was nobody, being told that he was nothing. I mean, that's not something a man does to another black man. And this is not something I'm going to accept from your Kevin Samuels or anyone in your so-called black manosphere. No, your manosphere was allegedly supposed to be about building up another black man and helping another black man, but I didn't see anything there about helping another black man. All I saw was an old Negro tearing down another black man.
I picked damn the black wacko spirit in the comment section.
And I'm not going to sit there and allow that to happen, because this is about a guy who just wants to tear down our young brothers and devalue our young brothers. And that's something we need to push back on as men, because this is just not what I'm going to deal with when it comes down to this con artist. Because he can go out here and run his gimmick, but when he starts tearing down young brothers, that's when I have to step in, and that's when I have to step in hard, because, again, I have worked with the worst individuals. Again, I've worked with ex-offenders. I've worked with drug addicts. I've worked with former gang members when I was working at Strive, and I've seen those young men go out here and have good jobs and get their life back on track. And I've also worked with a lot of college-educated brothers when I was on Facebook and writing my blogs, and even when I make YouTube videos. Those brothers come to me and they send me messages asking me for career advice. They send me messages asking me about what they should do in their lives. And I also get emails from brothers out here, and they ask me what they should do in their lives and what they should do with their careers. And I have never gone out of my way to verbally abuse any of those individuals who have asked me for help or advice in any way, shape, or form, because I respect these brothers and I want to treat them like I would have wanted to be treated when I was 20 years old. And when I see him tearing that young brother down, that's the thing that disgusted me more than anything, because who is your Kevin Samuels to verbally abuse a 20-year-old man who was looking for help? You weren't helping that young man. You were trying to destroy that young man. and you were trying to attach an emotional hose to that young man so that you could have a codependent relationship where you could suck the money out of this young man. And that's one of the things that, again, disgusted me. He's going to sit there and do this, and many of these jock riders, they're pretty much complacent with this, and they have no problem watching another black man be torn down by this so-called black male, this high-value man who gets his value by belittling and degrading another black man. Again, no different than your white supremacist or your ratchet black female in HR. And this is perfectly fine for many of these so-called jock-riding black males who are a part of the manosphere. They
going on them, Sean James. Going on them buffoons, bro. Going on them bastards.
One of our young brothers who is trying to do right. Now, the other part of this call that absolutely disgusted me was the fact that he went out of his way to ask this man about the size of his genitals. And when I
that's suspect.
That was
man, I'm sorry, I don't care how high value he say he is. That is some suspect shit. You gonna ask another man the size of his rod, man? That's some suspect shit. Kevin Samuels, man, he a Fruit Loop. Man, he either buy or he a Fruit Loop. You know, we gonna ask another man the size of his damn shit, man. Man, that's some faggot ass shit. I'm gonna say what it is, some faggot ass shit.
That type of question. And the reason why he's not going to ask that type of question is because he knows if he asks that type of question, one, people are going to think he's sexually suspect, and two, he's going to get punched in the face.
That's right.
That type of question there, that's not something a heterosexual man asks another man, because
some faggot ass shit.
That type of question, he knows he's going to catch a fist to the jaw.
That's right.
Because that question shows me that your Kevin Samuels isn't just a high-value fraud. He is one of these sexually suspect beta males, and that's probably why so many of these other beta males want to watch his channel on the regular, because they probably feel that feminine energy, and because they feel that feminine energy, that's what's attracting them to this effeminate man who I believe, again, is sexually suspect, because no man asks no man no question like that. A man only answers that question when he's by himself with a woman. If he's with a woman and they are chopping it up intimately, she'll ask that question maybe jokingly, but ain't no man gonna ask no other man about his stuff, because, again, if he asks about that stuff, people are going to think he's sexually suspect.
That's right.
And chances are you're going to get the crap beat out of you.
For real.
You start asking
you're going to get your ass whipped.
Questions. But in this so-called dysfunctional manosphere, which was supposed to be about men helping out other men, men uplifting other men building up other men, we see the same dysfunction that went on in your inner cities, where a lot of these guys were raised by these single mothers. And I see this dysfunction right here within the crumbling remains of this manosphere.
Yep.
Because to allow this guy to come in here and have all of these guys riding his jock instead of calling
it's nothing but a bunch of D-riders in the manosphere. Mine is D-riders with no sense of identity.
Because if these males were men, they would have looked at that whole phone call where he verbally abused a young brother, and they would have called to arms against your Kevin Samuels and let him know this is not how we treat a young man. No, we give a young man guidance and advice to build him up. We do not go out of our way to tear another black man down, because a black man already has enough enemies out here looking to tear him down. He already has to deal with the system of white supremacy. He has to deal racist bosses, and he even has to deal with some of these females out here, especially some of these black females out here looking to go out here and try to destroy him. So he should have a safe place where he can feel free to be able to express himself, and he should be able to get guidance, advice, and support from a collective of black men. But instead of trying to go out here and support this young brother, your Kevin Samuels and your so-called manosphere believe it's okay to tear down another black man. And that's where I have an issue, and I have to step in, because this type of thing should not be allowed to go on. And it shows me again how compromised your so-called black manosphere is, that this sexually suspect Kevin Samuels can come into the manosphere, and because these males are so weak, they allow this man to come in and practically not only take over the leadership of the so-called manosphere, but take control of the narrative of the black manosphere. That just shows me how weak these males are, and how they just have no masculinity, no backbone, no stones, no discipline or resolve, because only weak males can be easily led by a guy in a suit talking about high value, but goes out of his way to devalue other brothers out here. And they couldn't see the simple tells that I saw regarding you, Kevin Samuels, because if you're such a high value man, why are you devaluing a young brother? And if your Kevin Samuels was such a big wheel with such a grand career, then why didn't he go out of his way to help that young brother by asking to be a reference for that brother as he looked for another job, or going out of his way to give this brother some career advice? That was another telling red flag to me that showed me how selfish your Kevin Samuels is. Here you see a 20-year-old young man going to college, trying to improve himself, and instead of giving that young black man some advice, or even going out of your way to say, look, I know some people somewhere at a company, he decides to continue to tear that man down. That was a red flag to me about this dude who says he has this big time, high value career in corporate America, where he received all these multiple promotions. Because if you received all of these multiple promotions, you would have these connections and contacts, and you would be able to use those connections and contacts to help another brother. But it's clear to me that he's not what he says he is, because if he was what he says he was, he would again be able to have these contacts in the business world, and he'd be able to use those contacts to get himself a better job, and he would be able to go out here and work at one of these corporate jobs, making those six figures, and he would not be on YouTube hosting a live stream show. And that flies over the heads of many of your males in the manosphere. They'll sit there and swear up and down Kevin Samuels is legit. Kevin Samuels is one of the best out here. But when you start to peel back the layers of the onion, you start to see that there's something stinking about this dude. And when I look at this guy and I listen to the more of him talking, the more starts to fall out as related to the lies that he tells. Because when I listen to this guy talk, and he talks about, oh, I've got all of these promotions, I've come up in corporate America. Well, again, where are your contacts? Where are your references? Where are all of these people if you're such a big wheel and you got this six-figure job? Why aren't you working at one of these companies making those six figures? Why are you on YouTube trying to get AdSense dollars? And why are you here
That's right.
making money by trying to exploit some young boy and trying to take advantage of him? That's a critical question I have to ask your high-value hustler, because I know that if you were making this kind of money and you had this kind of career, you're not going to be on YouTube talking to everyday average people and trying to get money from AdSense dollars and super chats. No, you're going to be one of these guys who has a deal with a radio station or one of these digital radio stations like Spotify, or you're going to have your own podcast, or you're going to have your own TV show in production. That's what a so-called well-connected, high-value man is going to have. He's going to have the platform to go out here and be able to reach a larger audience. He's not going to be on YouTube infiltrating a place like the manosphere and looking to change the narrative, because that's really what this agent is trying to do. This agent is trying to infiltrate a black space, and this agent is trying to change the narrative of that black space. And what he wants to do is gather a group of useful idiots out here and use those useful idiots towards pushing the agenda of his slave masters, who really want him to go out here and push whatever narrative they want pushed in the black sector of YouTube. And sadly, we have so many gullible, useful idiots out here falling.
That's a powerful comment by that black developer 417 said. A lot of these dudes front like that, like they having a booming business, but be on YouTube all day shaming for super chats and donations. Exactly. They talking nothing but shit. They don't got no damn business. Talking about, I got my own business. What the hell you on YouTube all day for begging for money then if you got your own business? They full of shit.
And gotten that for free. I mean, yes, some people do send me cash apps and donate to the Patreon to get that kind of advice, but I have given that advice for free for years on my blog. I have given it for free on places like your Facebook and places like that, because I want to see young black men thrive. And it's clear to me Kevin Samuels doesn't want to see young black men thrive. He wants to build himself up by tearing other black men down, and he wants to build his base the same way your Oprah Winfrey built her base, emasculating and degrading black men. And again, he showed us not only how sexually suspect he was, he showed us how he was an enemy of the black man, and he was an enemy of building up strong black men. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, and my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my men's issues books that help brothers take their lives to the next level, like Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, Stop Simping in the Workplace, The Misadventures of Captain Save-'em, and The Man Crisis, you can find all of those books on Amazon.com in Kindle format, and you can find most of them in paperback. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Those who refuse the gift of eternal life are
coming. Yep. Oh yeah, man. He a fraud, man. A lot of them are frauds. You know, most of them got no letters of learning, no legit credentials, but they just on YouTube hustling gullible people, man. You know, a lot of our people gullible, man, getting hustled by these buffoons like that. Straight up. But all these D-Riders, they gonna come for Sean James though, so he better be ready. They gonna probably dislike his video. They gonna talk behind him, talk behind his back on their panels and stuff, like they do. Sneak dissing, some cowards, telling people they worthless. He ain't gonna tell us we worthless. I wish Kevin Samuels would come to our platforms, tell us that we worthless. We'll tear him up. We'll eat him alive. We'll eat him alive, man. We'll tear him to pieces. Tear him to pieces like the beast of Gavadon. You know, straight up. He spoke straight facts. Yeah, that was Sean James. Yep. Talking about it. That is his work. I told that to Sean James. All them books he writing, that is his work. Because he likes to say that Kevin Samuels be like, show your work. Show your work. Show your work. We around a bunch of lames. Exactly, K. Judah. Yep. A bunch of lames want to floss with materialistic shit, thinking they better than us. Telling us that we got to spend money on high, expensive clothes like suits and colognes and shit. That's what Kevin Samuels do. Bragging about spending money on expensive shoes, cologne. And, man, I ain't paying no $300 for no damn cologne or no shoes or suit. Shit. Man, if you want to be a jackass and pay $1,000 for a suit, go right and be a jackass, but not Moshe Ben. Not me. Shit. Shit, I'd rather go right there to City Trends, man, get a damn urban outfit before spending that much money on a damn suit. Shit. And a lot of us don't even have that much resources and money to be spending that expensive money on expensive clothes like that. Talking about they making 6 figures. Making nothing. They making, shit, they ain't even making 1 figure. Some of them ain't even making 1 figure. They're not even making 1 figure. Talking about they making 6 figures. Shit. Yeah, but that is suspect. He gonna ask that young man a question like that, man. Man, if Kevin Samuels asked that to somebody on the streets, man, he get his wig split. Straight up, he'll get his wig split. He'd be lucky to get knocked out. You know, shit. In some cases, they'll pop a cap in him, man. I'm just keeping it 100. Shit, that's suspect. You know, straight up. Oh, gotta charge the laptop. Let me plug it up and let it charge. Yeah. Let's see. Dead man talking as far as a fit. In this fantastic and strange series, we hear of a man who decides to finally follow his dream of living off the grid. He soon purchased a cabin with a very dark history. Hunters who built the cabin in the 50s went missing not long after they just disappeared. This must be a cryptid story, must be a dog man story or Sasquatch story. Let's see. Hold up, facts. That's why I only kick it with the solid. Only a very few solid brothers left. Yeah, that's sad. It is true. That is true. Only a few left. Yeah, you know, a lot of these buffoons in the whacker spirit, they not solid, man. They not. They phony. They fake. They cutthroat. They cutthroat. They straight up cutthroat, man. They ain't to be trusted. Solid Brews, aka Cleanup Crew. Stand up. Hashtag CUC. That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm. I just hashtagged it too. Mm-hmm. Stand up. Hashtag Cleanup Crew. I literally just stand up too. Real talk, just literally stand up and spelled it out in the air. I did CUC. like when Bret Hart left for WCW, when Mr. Man screwed Bret Hart, the Montreal screw job, man, Mr. Man screwed Bret Hart, pissed him off, man. He did the WCW initials on the ring. That's what I just did. I did CUC. Mm-hmm. Wow, we had an hour already. Yeah, I'm serious. I literally just stood up. I stood up and did the CUC logo. Yeah. An hour don't feel nothing. An hour don't feel like nothing when you with your bruise. I know. Yep. Yeah, it's just 11:44 too. Ain't even midnight yet.
Welcome to Dead Man Talking. Come with me as we step into the deep, dark backcountry, the dark, deep forest.
Yeah. Welcome to Dead Man Talking. Yeah, he must be from the UK. I think he's from the UK, man. That he's from the UK. Like, take another walk in the dark forest in the back country.
Dark back country.
The dark back country.
Deep forests. And let's hope we see sunrise in the morning. Creepy creatures, cryptic shenanigans, and nightmare fuel. I hope you guys enjoy this one. Of course, please do let me know down below in the comments. As ever, please do like and share. Without further ado, The Deep Woods, part 1 to 3. Let's get straight into that.
Let's get straight into that.
At the time, everybody told me I was crazy, but I didn't listen. I had known then what I know now. I would have listened. Growing up in the city, I'd always had a fascination with the woods, not the small, leafy areas between our commuter suburb and the next, but the big woods, the bush, places where the trees stretched unbroken.
Yeah, everybody must be asleep. I see we have 3 watching. That's all. That's good. I'm gonna just listen to some stories then. I'm gonna just listen to some stories narrated by the heathen dead man talking. Gee, it's all good. That's what I normally be doing anyway. You know, when I'm bored. When I listen to some of these stories, I find them more entertaining than watching a TV show. And some of these stories be so good, they need to make them into a series or something. It's all good though. I bet you as soon as I focus on listening to the story, that's when everybody gonna come in. They gonna be like, and I'm gonna have to look at the chat box. They gonna be like, what Moshe doing?
For miles, as far as the eye could see, where habitation was scarce and people even more scarce. Although through high school, I hunted with my dad and uncles, and like most kids my age, went off to summer camps each year, all of which were well out of the town, on the edge of the bush. I got to know my way around some real wilderness areas, and I got to know all of the animals that live in them. You'll see later why that is significant. Once I graduated high school, I went off to college in Vancouver. I qualified as a teacher, moved in with my long-term girlfriend, and did all the regular things that regular people do. But deep down, it all bored me. Yeah, I still hunted, but the urge was still rooted in me to move out into the woods, to live right there in the wilderness. As time passed, my girlfriend and I drifted apart. Eventually, we split up, and I guess I had a kind of epiphany. I decided, much to the horror of my family and friends, to sell my apartment and move up north to the wilderness area.
That's why she split up with him. She wasn't solid. He was a woodsman. She was a city gal. He had the heart for the wilderness. You know what I mean? She was a city gal. I'm going to do my commentary too, so y'all can expect that.
Close to the Rockies. I had seen a cabin for rent online, made some inquiries, drove up to see it, and paid the deposit there and then. The realtor didn't say much at the time, although I do remember he seemed surprised at my enthusiasm for moving to a 2-room log cabin off-grid, a mile from the nearest settlement. Nevertheless, it was exactly what I wanted, so I took it. I'd also seen a bar job advertised in the town nearby, and having plenty of experience as a part-time bartender when I was in college, I applied and got the job. The bar was, like almost all the local buildings, a single-story log house located on the outskirts of the town. You'll see later why I won't refer to that town by name. Suffice to say, it was a sleepy fishing village between the woods and the river. From the front of the bar, you could see the Rockies in the distance beyond the river. I reckon there can have been more than a few hundred people in the town, but it was the centre for folks from out of the rural areas, and so it was busy enough to keep open a bar, a store, and a barber shop. My first day at the cabin, I spent unloading my stuff. It didn't take long, as I deliberately got rid of as much as I could, bearing in mind it was a small cabin. Once I unpacked the car, I headed the 3 miles into town to the store to pick up some essentials. The lady behind the counter was highly friendly and welcoming. She would have been around 50 years of age, and she introduced herself as Sally. She explained that she was widowed and belonged to the local First Nation, whose location was about 10 miles upriver. She enthused about how beautiful the area was.
So let me guess, she was an Indian and a so-called Native American. Say she belonged to the First Nation. That must be a Native American tribe. The First Nation. Got to be.
And then she asked me where my cabin was. Oh, it's just about 3 miles north, right by the river. I grinned. Sally's face fell. She looked away, then stared right at me and said, "Did the realtor explain about the place?" I shook my head. "No, he didn't say much at all," I replied. "Seems ideal for me, so what should I know?" Sally shook her head. "I guess somebody should tell you, so maybe it has to be me. That place has had some bad vibes as long as, well, anyone could remember," she sighed. "When my husband was alive, when he was a boy, a group of hunters came and built that place. They came from the city. The second week they were there, they just disappeared. No trace, nothing. The feds came and searched for them, everything, but nothing was ever found." She took a deep breath, then went on. "After that, it was sold to a couple from the States. They wanted to use it for vacations. I wasn't long married at the time, and I remember they were nice people, good people. Then one day, they drove up to the store. My husband was working here at the time. The man came in like he had seen something really weird, like in a cold sweat. He just threw the cabin keys down right here on the counter and ran out. They drove off like the devil was after them and never came back. My husband went up to the cabin that afternoon to see what was what. He said the place wasn't even locked. They had left everything they couldn't carry. Food, clothes, furniture. They just fled. Something freaked them out real bad. I shrugged and smiled as reassuringly as I could. Maybe they saw a bear.
Yeah, everybody must be asleep, man. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream now. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. I'm going to go ahead and just continue to listen to the story. You know, appreciate everybody for coming through. Appreciate you, K. Judah. Appreciate your brother Ariel. Everybody must be sleeping tonight. Now, how much you want to bet when I don't go live tomorrow, they going to want me to go live? It's all good, though. Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream, man. I might even I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Go ahead and end it. Because I don't want to waste you know, if nobody gonna come through like that, I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste the StreamYard hours and stuff and nobody coming through. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it. All right, go ahead and end this live stream. So, you know, yeah, most high willing, I'll chop it up with y'all some other time. Shalom and peace.